Today I'm going to talk about PGMP. What is PGMP? It is Program Management Professional Course. Why program management at this point of time? Listen in case you are PMP, you have done PMP. If you are managing multiple projects, this is a course for you. So let's understand what is PGMP and why is it important at this point of time, why I'm talking about it now. PGMP is a globally recognized certification offered by PMI, same body which gives PMP as the certification. The difference between PGMP and PMP focuses on individual projects, ensuring they are completed on time, within scope and budget, including agile and different methodology. PGMP, on the other hand, is higher in methodology. If you look at your organization, there is strategic alignment, and then there are portfolios and programs, and then projects, and then operations as well. So, if you are an engineer, consultant, you might want to go to project management ladder, and then you want to grow as a program manager. This is one step to grow. Looking at AI also, which is coming in, lot of tasks by project managers gonna be automated. So to stay ahead in the competition, I think it's a very good certification we should be looking at this point of time. The challenge: AI is automating project management tasks, status updates. As of today, if you look at it, AI is at that very nascent stage. A lot of things are happening. It's like the revolution which happened in .com in 2000 or 2K, wherein there were a lot of things which were talked about, but the actual thing came like in 2020s. So e-commerce started only after 10 years of that talkings era. Similarly, AI is started. A lot of things are happening, but it's not at a stage wherein it's gonna take away your job. It's happening very slowly. But if you look at it over a period of time, 10 years or so, you would see that project managers' jobs gonna be disappearing. You're gonna see yourself handling multiple projects, AI automating a lot of things for you: scheduling, reporting, risk management, highlighting. All of that gonna be done by the tools which are integrated with AI. So for you to grow, to see that horizon, you need to start developing AI capabilities, of course, and then looking beyond AI, to stay in the game, strategic alignment, being part of that leadership cadre. So PGMP is the right certification as on today. Let's look at some data. 80% of the PM tasks gonna be automated by 2030. This is a report by Gartner. There's a talent gap report, which again PMI does. If you're gonna see, there's gonna be new roles in program management, project management, which is a combination of hybrid project management, program management, strategy alignment, AI managers, and so on. Leadership, you're gonna see a lot of organization with maturity, you're gonna see leadership roles coming in. And PM role gonna be changing. It's gonna change in next 2-3 years, 10 years. It's gonna be matured enough. So, how do you future proof your career? You need to ensure that you move away from the things which gonna be replaced by AI. For example, task management, scheduling, reporting, risk management. All of that gonna be replaced by AI very soon. So, what you need to do? Start looking at enterprise alignment, benefit realization, cross-project governance, stakeholder orchestration. All of these things are things wherein a human intervention is required. You need to fill that gap. So stand out in this era wherein AI is taking over. A lot of things look very bleak. Do a PGMP, move from tactical to strategic influence, and complement AI with human program level thinking. AI may manage project, but only humans can lead programs. So you be that human. So if you have made up your mind, you can look at, are you eligible for PGMP? What is eligibility criteria? It is difficult. Okay, PGMP is difficult. So PGMP eligibility criteria contains the criteria for project management as well as for program management. You should, if you are a PMP, then this would be not looked at, but only this area gonna be looked at. If you are not a PMP, you want to do directly PGMP, then they're gonna be evaluating project management area as well. So let's look at what is the eligibility. If you have 4-year degree with you, which is 16 years of education, like what is 16 years? 12th plus 2 plus 3 plus maybe a PG diploma, or 12 plus 2 plus 4 years as a bachelor, BTech, and so on. So that is the education background you need. You need to have 48 months for project management experience and 48 months for program management experience. Both of them are required. It's not or, it is and. So you would need both of these experiences to be eligible for PGMP. Let's see how the exam is structured. Before the exam, there are 2 exams. Okay, let me talk like this. The exam is gonna happen in the Prometric Center, which is, I'm gonna talk about that. But before the exam, you would also be reviewed by some people called panel review. Your application, your eligibility criteria would be reviewed by a set of experienced program managers. So you would be evaluated twice rather than only once. Okay, so once you submit the application goes through eligibility checks and so on. After that, it would go through panel review. So that's one important step. Your application may be declined at this point of time, looking at whether you have expertise to manage programs or not, whether you are aligned to strategic management or not. My application got rejected. So it's generally 80% of the application gonna get rejected at the first go. So be aware, put in a lot of thoughts to write your PGMP application. As I told you, PGMP application is very complex to write, and the main thing which panel review going to be looking at is, have you done any strategy for the overall program? What kind of governance did you did? How did you implement policies and so on? Were you involved in benefit realization? Now, a lot of you who are a project manager may think benefit realization may come after the project gets over, but for a program, benefit realization gonna happen within the program. Okay, maybe after some benefit realization can happen after the program gets over, but most of it, because program contains project and it would have operations as well, so benefit realization would happen within the program life cycle. If you have not done that, then you are not eligible. But in case you've been a program manager, you would have known that your targets are whether the project was successful, what kind of KPIs have you done, and so on. So benefit realization is one most important thing which they're gonna be looking at. Panel review gonna be looking at. Strategy mapping, how did you align your program goals to the organization goals? How did you manage the overall program, people, and so on? So those are the things which you need to write in your application to ensure that your application is not rejected. The way application is going to be written, you need to write what is the program objective, what was your role in that, and what were the program benefits which you achieved. At least these 3 headers has to be there with details. So the first step to your PGMP certification is obviously filing the application. Very, very important. You need to file the application with lot of mind into it. Lot of detail has to go in. The application then goes through smaller checks by some support desk executive. These checks are like whether 48 months are complete or not, and so on. Your application may get into audit as well based on 35 PDUs, where have you got it, or random selection. There is no punishment in the audit. 1% or 30% of the application PMI does not tell us, but some of the application goes under audit because PMI also has to get audited whether the people who are doing PGMP are they eligible or not. So PMI does this for the compliance. In case your application does not come under audit, you would be, or in case your application is okay, then you would be asked to pay. I'm gonna talk about payment details slightly later. Once PMI receives the payment, then only a panel review is allocated. Understand, panel review meaning people time. So once you have done your payment, panel are gonna be assembled. They would be allocated to review your application. These are senior program managers, not on the roles of PMI. They are different people. They come and review your application for compliance, for whether you have actually done your job or not. In case your application has some flaws, they're gonna write in detail that we were looking for these things and these things were missed out. They are not there in your application. Kindly do write it back. They would give you a chance to amend your application. So let's say your application has failed the panel review. You're gonna be given a chance. In case your application is rejected twice, then all this money gonna go. Okay, so you need to be very sure that you are eligible for PGMP. You need to have a coach or mentor to ensure that your application goes through the panel review. Once you have passed the panel review, you meet the overall criteria, then you can sit for the PGMP exam. And I'm going to talk about how and what kind of questions going to come in the PGMP exam, but this is your overall journey for PGMP. Again, you submit your PGMP application, gonna go under panel review. If you pass, you continue to the examination. If you fail, then you receive a guideline email. You need to amend your application, and then again it's gonna go through panel review. Maximum, I think it is 3 times, but not too sure. It can be 3 times or 2 times. That's it. If you failed twice, then your money is forfeited. Then you need to reapply again next year. So once you have passed the panel review, you need to start worrying about the exam itself. The exam is for 4 hours, no breaks. Your knowledge is tested for 5 domains. You're gonna see 170 questions. Out of that, 20 gonna be pilot questions. These are the questions which PMI keep on introducing to mature the questions, because PMI would have some pool of question, new questions gonna be added in. They're gonna be matured for English, for understanding, and so on, and they become normal matured questions which are assessed, which assess you, which have marks. These questions are randomly generated, so in case you and your friend goes together, you're gonna see out of pool of questions, some questions gonna come for you, another set of questions gonna come for your friend. You're not gonna find the same questions. So randomly generated, only uniquely compiled for you. No negative marking, and it's a rating based system. If somebody says you need to get 65% to pass, no, that's incorrect. It is rating based system. The way your kid goes, and there are he or she gets a rating of excellent, good, poor. Those are the ratings. Those kind of ratings you're gonna get in the PGMP or overall PMI certifications. Let's have a look at the ratings now. So the ratings are need improvement, which means you have failed. Below target, you have failed. On target, which means you have passed, and above target, meaning you have passed. Your knowledge is tested on 5 domains. So the question is going to come in 5 domains. What are those domains? 15% of the question is going to come from strategic program management, 14% from governance. How do you, govern your entire program? How do you manage your stakeholder as a program manager? 16% of the question is going to come from that. Benefit management is 11%, and most of the questions going to come from program life cycle, 44%. So you would be assessed on all of these. I'll talk about that in another video. What does this mean, or what is PGMP eco? I'll talk about that slightly later, next series. However, once you give your exam result would be program life cycle, how much did you get above target, benefit management above target, and so on. Adding all of that gonna give you your pass or fail. Okay, here. So if you get below target in program life cycle, which is like 44%, and you get on target in rest of the others, you may fail the exam. Okay, so you need to ensure that you do right set of learning, right set of preparedness, so that you pass the exam. As I told you, you have total scored questions. Total questions are 170. Unscored, meaning no numbers, these are test or trial questions, gonna be 20. You would not have any way to know whether the question which you are looking at the screen, is it numbered, would it carry number or not. So for you have to give correct answers to 170 questions, but internally PMI would assess you on 150 questions within 240 minutes, no breaks within the exam. What is the cost for PGMP exam? So if you are in India, slightly complex because we have a tax rate of 18%. So I'm going to talk about USA first. In case you are a member, you gonna be the PGMP certification application filing cost is 800 USD. In case you are not a member, then it is 1000 USD. Okay, what is the membership fee? 164 US dollars. So in case you are a member, you're gonna save something. In case you are an Indian, then the membership fee is 48. In case you're a member, then it is around 50K. In case you are not a member, then it is around 71K. This is with taxes and so on. So this is how it is. You can make your mind as to whether you want to go with PGMP or not, and so on. Stakes are high, but future is bright if you do PGMP. Do it right first time, pass the exam. So what should you study for PGMP? There is a program management standard. Go with that. Do not go with fourth standard. New standard is out. So look for updated course, look for updated edition, which is 5th edition. There are a lot of changes which has been done in the 5th edition. So this is your source of truth. The standard for program management, 5th edition, that's your keyword. So how should you start your PGMP journey? What is your first step? The first step is attend a PGMP workshop. You can attend a self-study course. It can be at Udemy if you want. You can do a coaching. You can do a class, or you can do a mentorship with someone whom you think they can guide you better. So once you have done that, you get the required PDUs with you. You file the PGMP application. Again, as I told you, PGMP application is difficult. You should have, writing application, review of the application included within the PGMP workshop. Become a PMI member because it's gonna give you discounts. Submit your PGMP application, and then hopefully you're gonna pass the panel review. In case there is some amendment or questions, it's gonna come back, get help from your mentor, and then make it perfect the second time, pass that, and you would have 1 year time to schedule your PGMP exam. So let me give you an example. If you passed your panel review on 2nd of October 2025, you would have time till 1st October 2026 to schedule your exam. So you would have 1 year total to schedule your exam. Prepare well, because the exam is very difficult. There is some patterns to the exam. When I sat for the exam, I got to know, it's not very hunky-dory, and very, very difficult questions are asked. So prepare well, and then look at the right database of mock test. Prepare well, schedule your exam, go to a Pearson View Center and give the exam, do it, review it once or twice, be comfortable, and you should be able to come out by passing the exam. So that's your journey to PGMP. In case you have any question, you can go to kavitasharma.net. That's the website. There is a WhatsApp button. You can ping, or you can directly ping on the WhatsApp button. In case you have any question for me, you can write to me at help@kavitasharma.net. I will be very happy to respond to your queries. I wish you all the best. Do well. Thank you for listening in. Bye-bye.